Hello and welcome to another edition of the Ndey, Oley, Taal show. And today in the studio with me, we're going to be discussing about the arts and paintings and drawing and its aesthetics and mediums of it. A lot of you who know me will know that I'm a fan enthusiastic. Like I love arts and I'm an artist. So it was only natural for me to bring someone to share that platform with, to discourse and just bring you into this amazing world that we live in. We're going to go for a short break, but when we come back, we're going to meet this amazing person. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. I can't wait for you to meet him, actually. This one is really exciting. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Ndey, Oley, Taal show. Today I have a guest, Mr. David Harcy. From Scotland.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
From Scotland, and he's been based here now for 2 years. And I would say you're a world-renowned artist, because I've looked at your background and you've done so many amazing works and exhibitions, and your work is just impressive. I'm a huge fan, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Finding out about you and
that.
everything that you do. You're welcome, sir. Tell us who David is and where you come from, and just.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I'm from Scotland, the UK, and I was raised there, educated there, went to college, university there, and that was my training in fine art. I decided to make fine art, which is drawing and painting, or it could be sculpture, for example. So I did that, studied, and I was fortunate enough, actually, not too long out of quite a good education, I have to say, in those days especially. Some galleries picked up on my stuff.
Wow.
Firstly, a German one in Berlin, and then some American ones in London especially. So, but there was a lot of us at that time that were coming out with what we called a figuration painting, which was painting about people, about real things, about real life. Some of it very often quite difficult. It wasn't all pretty images. It was about what's happening in the world, how various communities were living. And that became quite popular. So there was a number of us actually were engaged with that field of work, and a lot of galleries, I say, picked up on us at that point. So that was great. That was good.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how was that for you? How did you find this artistic aesthetic? When did it come to you? Were you a very creative little boy when you were younger, or how did it come to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm told, I can't quite remember, but I'm told that, I always painted and I was drawing all the time. So I think a very famous artist, probably Picasso, said that all children are artists, and the artist is the child who forgets to stop. So in the end, all kids draw, and artists just keep going.
Yes, that's true.
They don't cut off about 8 or 9 years.
That's true.
So that's it. Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah,
amazing stuff. Actually, when I was researching about you, I realized that we actually went to the same university. I think that was amazing.
I've just heard that.
They were from Harriet University, because
yeah.
I studied fashion and finance there as well. So I was like, oh my God, I was so excited to meet you. Why Gambia?
Well, firstly, I'd actually been to Ghana, and I'd never been to Africa before. And I always fancied, of course, coming to Africa given any chance.
Yeah.
I loved a lot of the artwork, the culture of Africa, along with many other continents. And I had the opportunity briefly to go to Ghana with the idea of getting some students to study at our university. So that was my plan then, and I went home, and then a friend of mine was coming to Gambia about a year or 2 years later, and he said, "You want to come?" I said, "Yeah, of course I want to come."
Yeah.
So I kind of packed up home. I'd been exhibiting my paintings, of course. I'd stopped working in the university by that point. And I thought, well, this is a new life, a new opportunity, and I'd be delighted to join my friend come to Gambia, which I did, and I'm still here. So.
Did you pack up to come and stay, or were you just coming to test the waters to go back?
Well, I was thinking maybe a year,
Yeah.
2 years, but I first came 2012, so sometime.
So you like it here?
Yep, it's a great little country, wonderful place. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. We're happy to have you. So tell me about what inspires your art.
Well, what inspires my art? I think other artists, especially. You grow up with that when you're studying, especially, and daily life influences it greatly. Things around us, you know, anything around us, really. People, especially people. Yeah, and here is full of characters and colourful things, so that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, different temperature in terms of colour here, so it's interesting, yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of your artwork and your painting. I see that you love the silhouette of the woman, the bodies and the forms and the colours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think especially with a lot of women, they dress beautifully, as you are.
Thank you.
And so there's a lot of detail in that, you know, and culture. And culture is terribly important, isn't it? And it's wonderful to see cultural things, you know, like that. And it's very often in clothing, in headwear,
And the
headdress.
accessories and
yeah, all that, which is wonderful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
So being in Gambia, are you involved in the art scene? Are you working with any kind of group of people or a ministry? What are you doing with your work here right now at the moment?
Yeah. Predominantly, I just work on my own. It's mainly commission-based, actually. You know, people want a painting of something.
Yes.
It could be a lodge, mural work. It could be a personal portrait of a family member, sometimes their wife or their mother or their father, whatever. So I've done a lot of portraiture in that respect, but basically on my own. I have met one or two other artists, though, that are very, very good. Become good friends with
Gambian artists.
Yeah, Gambian artists. Mr. Fatih, especially, a great old friend of mine. Wonderful chap and very dignified gentleman too. Teaches at CBEC.
Wow.
And another friend of mine who's actually a Dutch guy, and he lives down in Casamas.
Oh.
So occasionally, I've had the good fortune to go down there and do some things with him.
Because I think with your experience and what you're doing, there's so much you can do if you wanted to. I mean, because I find, like, having the art background as well, I find that we sometimes find it hard to tap into or have the opportunity to meet people like yourselves who would inspire or teach people to know things about the arts and to just bring them into that world of showing them the possibilities and what's out there. The inspiration sometimes lacks. Sometimes for young people or even grown-ups, you know, to find somebody like yourself, to like accessible, to teach them things or to open this world for them. I think so. How would you tap into this kind of? Are you open to tap into this kind of world with people here?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I've tried on a number of occasions maybe to try and get something going. It's not quite come to fruition yet, but. You keep at these things, and it's very important. And I'm glad you mentioned the youth, because youth is are the culture of the future, and of course that's everything, isn't it? So if young people can get involved at all, they already have an interest probably in making things and doing things, and they're always curious.
Yes.
And they're sponges, you know.
They absorb everything.
They can absorb. They can absorb a great deal. So yeah, that would be wonderful. I mean, given any opportunity, of course, all these things are fascinating.
Yeah, I think that should change. I think you can be used to inspire a lot of things, given that you also learning as well, being here, our culture and our tradition and all.
Yeah.
Plus what you bringing in from the outside and your experience and all. I think that fusion could be something beautifully explosive in my eyes. Yeah.
Indeed. I mean, I think it's the fusion of different cultures which makes things interesting.
Yes.
Although it's very important, of course, everybody holds on to their own personal identity and culture, and that should never be tampered with. But certainly what's very interesting, you hear it in the music world, don't you? A great deal. Different influences fusion of different things coming together.
Yes.
You know, different cultures. And that in visual art, of course, is also wonderful. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
We're gonna go for a short break, but before we go, I'm gonna ask you a question. How has the Gambian experience been for you?
It's been pretty good.
Yeah?
I mean, you've got to learn a lot of different things here, and that's of course it's an honor to learn new stuff. So yeah, it's been fine.
You
Great,
like the food, the weather?
I've tried the food. Some of it I love. Some of it's a bit hot for me, but you know the rest of it. Yeah.
Awesome. I miss the Scottish foods as well.
Oh well, me too.
Yeah, I do. I miss it. I miss the weather. It's such a beautiful country and city as well. We're gonna go for a short break. When we come back, we're gonna speak more to this amazing man right here. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
From an early age, we value the feeling of speed, the thrill of the wind as we rush to our destinations, the feel of our feet bounding over the ground, the way the world blurs as we rush by. Faster, faster than a ray of light, I'm flying. I have one speed, I have one gear. Keep on moving, I won't stop till I get there. Want to experience speed? Then subscribe to the Gambia's 4G LTE mobile network, QCell. With speeds of up to 45 megabytes per second, you can get online in the blink of an eye. The fastest browsing, stream videos faster, do much more faster. Just dial *335# to join the fastest club. QCell's 4G LTE mobile network. Go faster. For more information, call 111. QCell, Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back to the show. We're still here with the amazing David. So tell me, I know that the Gambian government and the country, they're always looking to innovate new things. Especially, I think they invest in the arts and in the arts especially. You being here, like I said before we went on a break, there's so many things you could change and educate people with. Because I've had, for example, an amazing Gambian lady here a few weeks ago, and she's like, she's everything. Ndey Harcy, she was here, and we spoke about her, and she worked with Nike. She's painting, she's doing clothing. Like, there are people like herself in Gambia who are doing amazing things. With you having the experience and all these ages, you know, doing all this amazing work, I think. The resource that we have here in terms of Gambians doing amazing and people like you coming, bringing in so much and a fresh new look to it. I'm trying to find a way where me and you could talk about fusing these two worlds together for it to make sense for people to access these. Because I remember when I was going to study the arts, because I had a lot of reference in my cultural and my traditional background to look into, but I was looking for maybe somebody like you then to inspire me, to show me things. Maybe I wouldn't have gone to the UK, but then I couldn't find it. Like down the line right now, you're here. I know a lot of students and people that love the arts that are like, but I just don't have the chance to go to England or to somewhere to study this. But where can I find somebody who could show me? Because, you know, arts is different in different parts of the world. So where do you think you can come in to adjust? I think you can adjust so many things here.
Well, it would be interesting certainly to work with other people. And for me, it's a case of I come with something, of course, which is a different training, a different background, but a great interest in African imagery also. So, yeah, I think it's a case of people getting to know each other. And artists very often, like myself, I live in a lot of isolation, actually. You know, just doing work, you're on your own, aren't you? So I think it's all about contacts and things like that. I think in your own indigenous country, it's far easier for that to, you know, to happen, because you know somebody who knows somebody, or you went to school with somebody, or you know, you went to college with somebody. So for me here, I'm not in that kind of loop, not through choice. But
we're going to change that now.
But that would be certainly wonderful.
Yeah, we're gonna try to change that. So since you've been here, what's the most amazing work you've done so far that you're so proud of, that really made you feel like, yes, I'm in Gambia?
Right, okay. I think, actually,
Is that a funny question?
well, I've remembered a few things I've done.
Okay.
And some of them I've been working outside, you know, on different kind of platforms and
Yeah.
things like this, standing on things, makeshift things.
I've seen a photo of you working
In
so
the heat.
tired and just sleeping on the bench. I
Yeah,
thought that was
yeah.
gold.
That was in Lamin actually some years ago. I was tired. I was hot. Yeah.
That was awesome.
So I've not done any work outside for a while. As you can see, my colour is pretty white again. But
Yes.
yeah, a lot of it's inside these days, partly due, I think, to this
The COVID and
the
lockdowns
COVID
and yeah.
thing and all the rest of it. So, but yeah, I've done some pretty hard things outside in terms of huge mural work, you know, and a lot of heat.
Yes.
And that's been challenging, to say the least, actually. But I've loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really, really loved it.
Yeah.
You know, and especially when you're given a free hand to say, well, make something beautiful and indigenous to here, or
Mm-hmm.
use the local landscape and all the rest of it, or people. And you think, wow, that's fantastic. I'll never get a chance to do that in
again,
Scotland.
yeah,
So
right.
it's a kind of honour to do these things. So I think everything, and I'm working on presently on a big set of portrait heads,
Wow.
which should be open to the press, I think, the 19th of this month in room 27. It's a gallery that I will be showing in.
Oh,
So-
what gallery is? What gallery is it? Do you want to share
It's
it?
a new gallery called Room 27 on the Colorley New Road. So
Oh wow.
it's an opportunity for people to see some of my big portrait work. If they
Oh,
want
I'd love to
So-
see that.
So yeah, we'll give you an invitation.
Yeah,
for
I
that,
would love
so,
to come.
Yeah. So that's one way, and I think it's exposure, so people actually get to see the work. A lot of the things I've done have been private
Yeah, right.
commissions, so people don't get to see them unless I post them or put
Right.
them on my
Social media and all.
website.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. What was the question again? I've forgotten. What was the most important things I've done in Gambia? I think to stay here, to
You're so artistic.
keep making work. Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, each one is important. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Each one takes something out of you. And
Exactly.
you got to put a lot into it. So it's and it's something you just don't give up on. You keep going. So,
Yeah. Like you said, like when you're born an artist, you don't give it up at all. So my next question is just going to be that what's been your most, I think every artist has that masterpiece that is your masterpiece that maybe you've done this maybe 5 years ago or 10 or 20 years ago. Do you have it here? I know an artist who his last masterpiece was the last day he decided to stop painting, and that painting of his is still his best.
Really,
to now.
stop painting.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a huge thing to do, to stop.
I know. Yeah,
Wow, I could never contemplate stopping. No.
yeah.
But I would say the best way to answer that, I think historically there have been key paintings I've made in my history from being pretty young
Yeah.
at uni that were life-changing, or they changed my direction, or they opened my eyes. It was like a key in a door that suddenly opened into a universe that it was hiding behind this door. There've been key paintings throughout your life, I think, and I think most artists have at least maybe half a dozen or something like that that they would admit to. Other people, of course, might like a particular thing you did, and you think, well, actually, no, I don't really care for that so much, you know, but somebody else likes it.
Right.
So as for masterpieces, I've not painted a masterpiece. No.
Okay.
That's for geniuses, and I'm not a genius.
I
so,
think you are.
Well, no, that's no, very kind, but no. But yeah, each one is important.
special, yeah.
Each one. Yeah,
It's special.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, for example, Gambia is very, very small. Not very, but it's a small country. And for the exhibition, for example, you're doing next one, you said the 19th. I'm sure people want to access that, to want to know, are you looking to partner with people or to partner with artists, or is it just you? 'Cause I think it's a great opportunity to talk about it and get people to come see it.
Yeah, well, it's an opportunity to see my work firsthand if they haven't already or they're curious. It's a solo exhibition, this one, and it's the first one actually in this space. So it's the launching of a space in a way. and I've been fortunate enough to be asked to launch the place. So, but with a view to there being other artists coming after me, local artists, Gambian artists, doesn't matter which country, you know, I would imagine. It's the quality of the work. So, yeah.
Do you find it hard to find materials or get inspired in your own space whilst you're here in the Gambia? It's quite different from...
Yeah, materials, unfortunately, are a problem. I don't mean getting canvas or the frames and stuff like that, but to get good quality oil paint and brushes, that has to come from outside.
Yeah, like the acrylics and
So
stuff.
please, Gambia, it would be nice if we had an art store for artists.
Yes.
It could, I think in Dakar, places like that, they have a lot
Senegal,
of guys and
heard,
women, they go there to Senegal to get materials, but it would be great if we had. We've got some smaller ones. There's there's various shops and things, but good quality stuff that you can really make some beautiful oil canvases with. Yeah, that would be something I think very important
to have.
And any artists out there, they will
I'm
know.
sure they would appreciate this.
They will know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know, when they're saying, "Oh, I've got to find it from here and I don't have it," and that's a shame because. They're ready to go, so materials are important.
It's a setback.
Yeah. It can be, but there's always a way around something. But I'm thinking more of Gambian artists who I respect highly, and unless they've got maybe other contacts, family members or whatever, they may have difficulty finding good quality tubes of oil paint, for example, things like that.
Wow, that's I never realized that. Because I do arts, but I'm more of a different kind of art. So this part of it, I didn't know it was so like stretchy for
specialized stuff. You see, that's the problem. You know, for mural painting, you can use the local oil paint, which is terrific. Actually, that's wonderful. I never realized when I first started doing that how far I could take that.
I know, right?
That was a great learning curve. I loved it actually. Really loved the stuff.
Oh wow!
But for canvases, you need a special kind of paint.
Like the acrylics and
acrylics, both acrylics and oil paint.
Yeah. What's your favorite medium to use?
Oil paint. Oil on board, oil on canvas, oil on wall.
Why oil?
You can do a lot with it.
Yeah.
You can.
And it has depth.
Yeah, you can do a lot with it. Yeah, it's got a great range. It's a great instrument. You know, you can really push it around. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we go on our break, I just want to know what's next for you.
I never really know, to be honest.
You go with the flow.
Yeah, I've got some commissions pending, which I have to do. Looking forward to them. But to be honest, like a lot of artists, they're going, right, I'm doing this now, but what's going to happen next? We don't know. Artists live like that, and they will know. Yeah. They will know how that. They know what I mean by that.
I know what you mean.
It's one of those things. So
it's one of those things I know.
But with hard work and sticking with it, you can succeed. Of course. Yeah. Very important. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is so inspirational and calming. We're gonna go for a short break. When we come back, we go to the last segment of this program. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. We're still here with David. I want to ask you, as a human being, as an artist, we all have those moments where something crazy or out there has happened. This time, I'm going to ask about your work, obviously. Has there been a moment or a time where something happened to a painting or artwork that you've done? Anywhere in the world that you've been, there's a story that you would want to share.
Yeah, I think, like many artists, what sometimes happens to your work once it's left your hands, or you've decided to get rid of it, or you don't like it. I think when I was in college, going back I was reminded of it recently that I couldn't carry these big paintings home, and I threw one in a skip. And a colleague of mine, apparently, she never told me.
Oh God!
A fellow student at the time, she thought, well, I'll keep that. So she kept it, and I think, then what happens is you see a lot of your work coming up at auctions in America or Europe or wherever, in my case, and things are sold on. Maybe you made a little bit of money when you were younger, and that kept you going. But then, of course, it's not your property anymore, so they end up on auction. People get rid of them for various reasons, or they need the money or whatever. So you can sometimes find paintings popping up all over the place, you know, that you never expected.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Even things you might have half destroyed, you said, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'll toss it, I'll throw it. And somebody's found it, so I'll keep that.
Oh, that's
you know, so that's that. I mean, it's nice also.
Yeah.
You know, it's flattering, I guess, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. What's your favorite time to paint?
Here, morning. Morning, afternoon's okay. Yeah, daylight hours. Yeah.
Daylight hours.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Daylight hours.
And where do you like to paint?
I paint at home. I do my commission work I do at home. I've got a small apartment. It's more or less a studio, really. And I do all my work there, unless it's commission-based work outside, you know, like a mural or something like that on site. But most of it's done where I live, you know.
I find that in Africa, in Gambia, like the elements sometimes, as much as it is beautiful, it does affect work. I remember when I was a student doing my crafts, I love my DIYs and stuff. Sometimes it's too hot because the heat. Sometimes not everything is supposed to be under such like harsh weather. Do you struggle with this? And do you have instances where you do something, you're painting outside, and because of the heat, it kind of ruins something for you? I sometimes call it a beautiful mistake. Sometimes something melts and just goes the wrong way.
Oh, right, okay.
And I'm like, you know what, I think I like it this way.
Yeah, it can happen, for sure. I think, as you'll know, I mean, you've got to work at quite a pace when you're working outside. So you're working quite quickly. And for me, I go into a kind of autopilot, you know, where I work very, very fast.
Okay.
Fast in the sense, what I'm trying to make is maybe quite difficult, so it's pretty fast for what I'm making. And I've had sunstroke a few times, felt quite sick.
Oh, yeah.
Just the heat. And you can, for me, the mistakes, I look at them the next day and I think, well, I thought that was good yesterday, but it's nonsense, actually.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I'll just change that right now.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you've got to reflect, look back on it a little bit, be around it, go back and revisit it, and you say, well, what I was thinking yesterday, obviously,
was I thinking?
The sun was getting to my head or something, because it's not right at all.
You were delirious or something.
Exactly, I mean, all these things, the elements do play a big part here.
Yeah.
But that's part of the joy. It's
For
part
me,
of the
when
thing.
I'm painting or creating, I have to have a cup of tea. What do you have next to you?
Usually water, and it's never enough, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's good for you. You have great skin.
Yeah, but you drink water and it's never enough water. You always think you've drank enough water, and no, you haven't really, you know. And I'm trying to acclimatize, not too badly, to African climate, of course. But I don't mind it. You get kind of onto you go into your own zone, and you're just working, and sometimes you ignore to be drinking water.
Yeah, I know, right? We all see and appreciate art differently. For example, I, as an African, as a Gambian, a real Gambian, who at a really young age just had the eye for fashion and the arts and stuff, I was always raised to explore and dream and be whoever I want to be in my own artistic world and space. What I struggled with was my imagination. Sometimes people thought it was a bit off or different because of as an artist, I think we think differently from other people who see things from different perspectives. And I always struggle about how sometimes, as much as our culture is very diverse, like Africa, Gambia, for example, is very diverse, it's very rich, it's very vibrant. I think we don't make good use of it as much as we're supposed to, like in appreciation of the arts and the culture. I don't know, do you share the same view with me? where do you think the shift is, the issue is here?
I think, yeah, I mean, art is not everyone's thing, is it? I mean,
No.
In the end, everything's art. This chair is art. Everything is art. Everything is made. Everything's designed. So everything, the glass you drink from, somebody's designed it with probably on a computer now, but before with a pencil and a piece of paper. So people think of art as what they expect art to be. So it's got to look like something. It's got to look like the thing that it's representing, which I understand because that's non-artist's view of what art is. And that's fine. I mean, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But for artists, we might view art as quite a different kind of thing. You know, it might be the mess of starting something and saying, well, actually, that's lovely like that. I want to leave it like that. But of course you can't. Artists will see that, but non-artists may not appreciate that.
Right.
But that's life. That's the way it is, you know, and it's like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Because in Gambia, for example, I find that sometimes I live near the tourist market in Bakau, and there's a lot of things happening. It's very vibrant. It's very like the exuberance, everything. But sometimes I find I pass by a car, I see like a really nice, beautiful piece. I look at it, and somebody tells me, "Why are you looking at that? It's just a something wrapped." I'm like, no, I can see where this artist is coming from with this, and I think we struggle with that. That's why I said earlier that is where somebody like you can come in to teach this to the people. So right now that you're here, what are the plans for you in terms of Gambia? I mean, of course, do you plan to stay more? Do you want to go back?
Yeah, I mean, for now, I'd like to stay if possible. Travel at the moment is kind of out anyway, isn't it, for most people, even if they want to. But I will stay. I will stay on. I mean, it's taken me a long time actually to get things moving here, and I'm glad I did, because you've really got to stick with it, you know. And artists, in any walk of life, you've got to. Nothing's a free lunch. You gotta really, really believe in it.
Be hungry for it and work.
You gotta believe in it. Believe in yourself, even when you're challenged and you don't want to. But on the point of people understanding or not realizing maybe what an artist would see, I think that's exposure and education. And I think if people are exposed to galleries or exposed to artworks. And watching people make it, for example, all that kind of thing. I think, of course, people then they start to understand it, and then they start to see a beauty in something that maybe they didn't realize was under their nose all the time. Because, as we know, there's so many beautiful things all the time around us, simple, everyday things. And of course, an artist sees that directly and picks up on that, or picks up on that. Yeah. That's just your DNA.
I know. I remember one of my favorite pieces when I was in uni was that we were asked to go to the V&A and or go to Tate Modern in London and take photographs of things that inspire us based on a project we were doing for our mood board. And I happened to be at home. It's a very funny story, but I'm just trying to add on to what you said. And it's one of my favorite things that I've ever done. And I cooked something with oil, and I had the pan in the sink. And I opened the tap and I put like normal fairy liquid. And when the water floated to the top of the pan, the oil and the water mixture and the different colors, I took a picture of it. I took it to school. And I actually have a fabric that's made of that picture.
There you go, you see.
And it's so beautiful.
Lovely,
and I kept telling people, do you know what it is? They're like, I don't know what it is. But it's like, I'm like, if only you know what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to see things in that context, in that way.
Precisely, yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming to
You're more than welcome,
show.
It's been
and
great.
It's been so amazing. Before you leave us, is there anything you want to share with the viewers and people that have worked with you, people that would want to work with you, how to find you, and what you're open to do with Gambia, obviously?
I mean, firstly, Gambia, thank you. And thank you for everybody that believes in painting, believes in all the arts, whether it be dance, music, film, writing, visual art in all its forms. Thank you to every human being that takes an interest, because it's a very rewarding thing to look at or
Yeah.
to listen to or to experience, and it enriches your life spiritually, and it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the main thing, I think. Yeah. Get more people interested. That's a big deal. Yeah.
Me and you are going to work on that. I mean, we're going to change the fact that
Good. Pleased to hear
there's
it.
so many
We'll do
things
that.
you can do here. I want us to change that because I want people to share you the experiences
Yeah.
and all that you could do. I think he's
Great.
a great person to watch, and he's an asset to the nation as well, to just add value to what's already here. Yeah.
Adding to what's here and growing what's here is
Yeah.
so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, David. This has been an honor.
Me too.
I'm
Great honor
absolutely
for me.
humbled.
Thank you very much.
I'm absolutely humbled. I'm humbled. On that note, we're going to say thank you and goodbye. I hope you really enjoyed this show. And until we come your way next time, have a good night.